Hey there, friends. Alex from the Big Dream Program, and just some thoughts. I'm sharing more thoughts these days. Hope they're of use to somebody, but even if they're not, I presume you'll unsubscribe and get rid of me. So how about this a deal? Just that I've been doing the Big Dream Program for, let's just say, 18 years-ish. I keep losing track of the exact year I started. And something I love about it every day is how international it is, the folks that I work with, how from all over the place it is. I really like that. There's a woman just joined my program this morning from northern Italy. When I meet someone as a client or they join my group programs, one of the questions I ask, in the application is where in the world are you, and if they want to tell me, they don't have to, because I just love it. I'm a person that from a very young age, teenager years, I really enjoyed everything about the world. I enjoyed topics such as world peace and development and all that kind of stuff. I memorized, when I was a kid, I was such a nerd. I could draw, if I had a map of, let's say, Africa with just the borders, I could label every country and the capitals and stuff. I was just that kind of person. I loved languages. I still love languages. I love accents. I like different cultures and foods and ways of seeing the world, ways of navigating life and so on. And I adore it. I just find life, for me personally, is just richer when I'm surrounded by that. And I don't know if I actually planned it on purpose in the beginning, but I'm certainly very glad now that I just have a business that allows me contact with people from all over all the time. And so I have that richness in my life. And it's interesting to me now at my age to look back and realize that I would have interpreted that in my earlier years that I have to travel all the time in order to be happy. And that's not completely true. If you broaden the meaning of that, it's true. I do need to travel all the time, but sometimes I do it right from here, from my own office, and get to speak to somebody in a different country, certainly different provinces of Canada and in the states, different states, and I just adore it. Having said that, one of the things I do in the Big Dream Program is I help people figure out, people who feel they're here to do something in the world, and it's in the form of self-employment. They're trying to figure out a sort of like a business or something that is, or a community initiative or a nonprofit or something that is so them, so very them. And so topics are what, come to mind when they're trying to figure out that, like, what exactly am I selling in the world? I can't figure that out. But there's so much more that goes into nailing that, which is in my program, certainly, and with clients, is talking about in what format do you want to deploy it, and basically setting it up in such a way that it's not just the topic, but how you plate the topic and serve it in the world is equally a fit for you. And not even just that it fits, is that ideally it improves your life versus, you just make concessions to make it work. And that's an example for me is just, of course, every time someone applies and they're from a place I haven't heard of, I look it up on the map. It's the first thing I do. I haven't even responded to their application yet. And I'm on Google Maps, looking at images of the place that, around whatever town or country they're in. And I just love it. There was, this year in the Big Dream Program, Slovenia was one I wasn't terribly familiar with in terms of scenery and so on. And, I just adored that. Different parts of the UK. And, a man from the quite north of Scotland. Anyway, I could go on and on here. I just love it. But what I was going to say is that doesn't suit everybody. I very, very much admire the people here in my community in Guelph, in other communities like my hometown of Miramichi, New Brunswick, and so on. People who are dedicated to the local community, like people who have a business that serves in person, people that walk in the door. And our downtown would be a ghost town if it were not for people that had that urge. And so I don't think there's a right or a wrong necessarily that, for instance, I've heard people say, you focus on the world, you got to focus on your community first. And so I get that. I completely understand the spirit of that. And the community can be however broad you make that, right? My community feels like the world to me. It's not a size thing. It's just where I sit best. Um, and so we need local folks. We need those people who want to focus on the geographic area and make our town beautiful and lots of services in it and so on. Lots of beauty in it. And I also see that we need people who are, well, wired more like me, because it makes things available to people in areas of the world who can't access this kind of thing otherwise, or someone's work like what I do. And so yeah, anyway, just a few random thoughts. And basically, I just wanted to share how pleased I am with the way my business has worked out with this international thing. But also just to invite you, if you're making some decisions around your business, if you have a business or a nonprofit or social enterprise, whatever that is, to consider in what way do you want to deploy it. And that probably the way that your heart wants is probably also a match for what the world needs. So anyway, consider that and see what you think of it. There are a few exceptions, I suppose, to all of these things, but I think that's a good place to start our designing. Because if you're happier, if your environment is more rich for someone like you, I think the natural result is you do better work, and so it ripples out when we get these decisions right. Okay, see what you think. Nice chatting. Take care. Bye.